Denise Dillon of Drexel is in her 13th season. She's the program's all-time wins leader. And one season after the Dragons' first sub-500 campaign in almost a decade, you guys bounce back, win 20 games, finish second in the CAA, and make it to the WNIT. As bounce backs go, that one was pretty strong, huh?
Right. Well, that's a good comment there. I wouldn't have thought of it, the bounce back. But after that year, it was something we had to pick it up, and we certainly did last year. We had a solid year, but we weren't pleased overall with our finish. So more work ahead of us this year.
Well, Drexel has always been synonymous with defensive prowess, and you were 16th in the country last year, holding your opponents to 55 points a game. Discuss what it takes to instill that kind of effort in your team.
Well, I think it's just the understanding that night in, night out, you don't know where your points are going to come. So you want to make sure that everyone's on board with the importance of defense. And I always give the credit where credit's due to our associate head coach, Amy Mallon, who enforces the importance of defense. And she reminds me every day how important it is that we start practice with defensive mentality, and the team certainly follows suit.
You mentioned that you weren't necessarily pleased with how the season ended. You lose in the quarterfinals to Delaware in the CAA tournament, but big picture, you won 20 games, and you played most of the season without your starting point guard, Megan Creighton. Getting her back, what does that mean to this team?
It's great to have Meg back. Last year, losing her early in the season, it took us a little time to get on pace with what needed to be done, but I felt some key players in Carrie Alexander and Alexa Smith really stepped in, and they developed into great players who we're hoping to count on this year from them. But having Meg back at the point definitely gives me a sense of security, for sure.
And sense of security can also be felt because you're bringing back 4 starters as well, one of whom is Sarah Curran, who is a first-team all-conference player last season. And what does her impact and leadership mean for your program?
Well, what I'm most pleased with Sarah is she's always led by example. She's a hard worker. She wants to develop different areas of her game year in and year out, but I would say now she's becoming more vocal. She has the understanding and the confidence now to help the younger players or help those that are out on the floor with her at that time. So she's starting to be more assertive, and we're really pleased with that.
Well, and she certainly had a good year. I mean, she averaged 12 points a game, but it seems like the sky's the limit for her. How good can she be from a production standpoint this year?
Well, I think it's nice to have Sarah back to a natural position as a small forward, and with that position, she will come out of the paint. She'll post up some smaller players if that's the case, if they put a guard on her. But she faces the basket nicely and has just really improved, become a more consistent shooter. So her range is there with the 3, her ability to take people off the drive. Sarah's just really crafty. She just, you watch and you wonder, like, how did she do that? So she just finds a way. And the area that she's really improved is on the defensive end. So we're counting on her to really step it up. And again, leading the team, the back end of our zone defense, or just picking up the better post player on the opposing team.
Well, this past summer you spent 10 days on a European tour, and how was that, and what did you learn about your team that you didn't know prior to going?
Well, the trip itself was tremendous. It was something we were so excited to have the opportunity. The support from Drexel to make such a trip happen is wonderful, and having those practices leading up gave us an opportunity, knowing the players who were returning, but wanted to see what else they were bringing to the table in their now junior and senior years with those returning players, but also having Jess Palecchio come into the picture as a transfer, and then some of our freshmen, really embracing this opportunity. So you look at it on the basketball end as a chance really to see early what you might be working with, but the biggest thing is just the opportunity to travel and see them out of their environment of campus or even home, and them really embrace the cultures and the different experiences, and just loving every second they were on the road. No matter if it was on the bus traveling or the different tours, they really soaked it up and enjoyed themselves from day 1 to day 10.
Certainly sounds like something that brings a team together. You already
Sure.
have a pretty tight-knit group. I mean, you have 3 players that played together in high
Right.
school. We talked about 2 of them, but how about Rachel Pearson, who turned into one of the best three-point shooters in the league last year?
Yes, well, it is interesting when you see Sarah, Rach, and Meg play together. It's obvious they've been playing for many years through the high school days in AU and now in college. So they know where one another is out on the floor. But in Rachel Pearson's case, I think everybody tries to find her, out at the 3. They know she's floating around out there, but it's up to her teammates to find her. And she got the opportunity to get some open looks and knock them down. So we were really excited about that.
Well, let's hypothetically speed through to the end of the season. What do you want to be able to say at the end of this year?
Well, I like that as well. What we'd like to say is we accomplished the goals that we set back when we were preparing to head overseas. So we've set the goals, the expectations are there. So I'd like to finish the year off with a thumbs up that we accomplished just that.
20 wins last season, 14 in conference, a second-place CAA finish, and a WNIT berth. Hoping for more this year. Denise Dillon, the all-time wins leader at Drexel. Good luck.
Thank you very much.